Hi, welcome to Nothing Venture, Not the Game, where we are doing a unboxing for Darkest Dungeon, the board game. Most of you, if you're into gaming, know about Darkest Dungeon. This was Kickstarted many years ago.
During the dark times.
Yeah, during the dark ages. The late pledge is open, so you could still find it and pledge lately.
By
Mythic Games.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously joined by Steve.
Yo.
And yeah, so stick around and we're going to dive into the Darkest Dungeon.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. With relic and ritual, I've bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. If you could do us a solid, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out. We're almost...
Feed the machine.
Yeah, feed the machine. Feed the dungeon. It really helps us out. We're trying to get to that 1,000 by the end of 2023, which will be pretty cool. So, Darkest Dungeon, the board game, Steve. Have you played Darkest Dungeon?
I have not, but I know of it.
All right. I played Darkest Dungeon. I love it. You die very quickly if you're bad. If you're good, there are like tricks now. There's a bunch of like new characters that you can play that they came out with. There's homebrew stuff that people have made. It's become a really big thing. They're actually up to Darkest Dungeon 2.
Yes, there's a sequel.
There is a sequel, which is in the beta. I think it's still beta, but like you could play it now. I don't think it's full game release yet.
I'm not sure. We'd have to check on that.
Yeah, but in the future,
If we're wrong, you'll see it down here because I'll edit it in.
Yeah. Additionally, if you're from the future, it's probably out by now. This is the base model. I didn't go all in. I didn't go ham. I got burnt by another system, and I
It will remain unnamed.
which will be unnamed, but it's sitting in the corner, and I'm about to give it to Zach for his birthday. But yeah, so this is the base system, and then this was the cool part. So when I opened the box, right, like the regular box, I looked in, and there was 2 boxes. I was like, oh shit, did I buy 2? Like my wife is gonna kill me. But no, it's only 1. So this is the base box.
Yeah,
and
that might be minis or something. And then there's also a little. This is a promo that we got. We're gonna get into in a second.
And here's second box, which I had
which is as big.
Which is
throw it
equally,
on top.
yeah, which is equally as big.
But less cool box art.
Yeah, way less. So this actually contains more pieces for the main game. It's not just minis. It's additional stuff for the main game.
Got it.
So I'm super interested. I saw a lot of stuff online.
So we're gonna. This is gonna run away for a minute, and then we're going to. The next time you see us, you're gonna see an open box.
Yes, 100%.
Power of editing.
All right, so we finally opened the box. It only took us a minute. So you get your little Dear backer, your little Dear John page. Important notes, don't set this box on fire.
Ooh, the last. Oh, this is just an advert for another game.
Yeah. Advert. If you want it, pick it up. So far.
And then, yay, tokens.
Tokens.
A punch sheet, because we all love punch sheets.
And punch sheets.
Ugh. Tiles, fancy.
For the dungeon.
Yeah. Double-sided, at least looks like.
Yeah. Because when you get to the final boss and stuff, the rooms change.
Yeah.
So these are clearly the tokens for the town.
Yeah.
Currently.
Let's see. You got the blacksmith.
Ooh.
Oh, there's different levels. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Blacksmith 1, Blacksmith 2, Blacksmith 3. So as it gets level, better level, higher level, it's more invest more resources in the town. Things get better. We want to keep that. Dice. What game was not is sold without dice?
Yeah, this whole game runs off of dice. Yes. Cool. If we didn't have enough dice, now we do.
You need 2 people to open this stuff.
Yeah, this is all.
Okay.
And then
cool thing is you do get baggies for all the tokens and cardboard pieces, and they are coolly labeled. Just in case you didn't know where you got this little baggie from,
Darkest
labeled
Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon.
By the way, I like that they give you the baggies, because how many times do you get a board game and you open it and you just like kind of pile everything into a Ziploc bag and you're like, I'll figure it out later.
Partly I agree, and partly I would like a decent insert to be in the box.
Yes.
That's me. Like, look, I have enough board games where I've had to buy my own baggies and go to the supermarket and buy sandwich bags and bag it up. Or I buy little like plastic containers and had to fill my own board. And other times where I get baggies, but even then, sometimes baggies aren't enough.
Yeah.
So, for me, I like the fact that they did include baggies, but that I'd rather them include it than not. But I would have preferred an insert over baggies.
Like a better insert.
A better insert. Now, I will agree, some inserts are hot garbage.
Yeah.
And then some inserts are really good, and also I'm assuming there's third-party ones you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Or eventually we'll be able to get. This is relatively new, so.
Yeah, this is fairly new. There was some issue. So, quick backstory. This was kickstarted, I believe, the beginning of 2019. And the Dark Times broke out. They had a lot of shipping issues. And at one point, they asked for an additional donation to help cost of shipping. They didn't expect the price increase. So they said you have one of two options. You can add the price to get it, as I clearly did, or you could just get a full refund. They did offer a refund.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was
no one really expected, especially in 2019. No one really expected that to happen.
Yeah. So I gave it a lot of leeway.
We're gonna move this off.
Oh, additionally, just so you understand,
Are we supposed to look at these or not? Let to look at them.
you can look at them.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like,
avert your eyes. This is stuff that you can't see yet.
I mean, don't worry about it. Like, spoilers, I guess, if you've never played the game, you go into a dungeon. But here is the add-on. It was free. It was a promotional material. It was like part of the thing. Like,
if you kickstarted, you get this bonus.
It's the Musketeer, which is a pretty cool one.
Bang bang.
Yeah. So it comes in a separate box. So keep an eye out. This was underneath it was in between
the two
boxes. So if you get your set, that's where it's coming. We can take a look. It's in a book. So everyone sees that's the token. Those are the cards, and here
mini
is the mini, and you do get minis for every class. The mini is really cool. It's actually very well done. I can't stress, like, I get a lot of minis for these board games, and they don't look as well as this. This is very well done. Like, I could see painting this and actually using it for like a D&D character, because it's so well done. It actually has that Darkest Dungeon aesthetic to it, where
it's kind of like weirdly Victorian, with muskets and guns, and weirdness.
And then you have your Mythic Studios logo imprinted on the bottom. So it's really nice. These are the character cards. As you progress through the game, obviously you use these tokens. So this was a really cool one. Again, when you get the game, you get the base classes. This was the expansion one. If you got even more showed up. But that's
as you paid more money, you got
more stuff. Yeah,
more kind of
there was a lot
heroes.
of expansions. They actually did in the game they also have the aquatic Darkest Dungeon. Like they added that too. Like you could get the aquatic one, and I believe the farmstead was an option. Again, those were all higher tier pledges.
Gotcha.
I didn't pledge into that. But yeah,
you like eating.
I did. It was very expensive.
Either that or eating.
That's why we need you to, again, like and subscribe.
I'm going to shove you out of the way for a second. Let's
Musketeer.
Yeah, Musketeer. It's been consumed by the Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
No. So these are the tiles. And obviously, I haven't even looked at the rules yet, but there's obviously specific iconography for the different rooms, and obviously bad stuff that will probably most likely happen to you as you delve into the Darkest Dungeon. And
this is obviously when you're facing the big bad at the end.
Oh, I went to the hard side first. I went deep really early.
This is because it becomes very Cthulhu-esque.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is kind of the regular.
Yeah, this is like the regular dungeon.
Upside down for them.
Yes.
For us. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yet again, same things. It's like I was wondering, like we're already at 5s and 6s over there. What's going on?
Yeah.
But like I said, different
Much
iconography. Zero. I like level 0.
Yeah, much easier.
Yeah. We're just gonna take a look. We're not gonna look at all of them, but if you like it,
It's
then,
it's very well done. Like
I was actually gonna say
printed nicely.
Yeah. So there's a pretty decent fixed cardstock. I was actually going to say that it's actually easier for me to see these
Much nicer.
and the iconography on these than the purple ones.
Yes,
Purple ones are little things starting to bleed together a little bit for me,
Yeah.
just at quick glance. So if I'm at a table and I'm trying to look over there at the room that I need to be in,
yeah.
it might be a little bit like not an issue, but
So clearly Steve's not a high level player.
yeah.
That he just stops.
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
He leaves the dungeon.
my torch ran out. I can't see
His
anything.
torch ran out.
Yeah. So
I like it. It's very well done.
different types of rooms?
Yeah, there's
nice spider webs. You're fucked.
Yeah, there's nice gloss, and the nice thing about these is again as you play, because in Darkest Dungeon the systems when you go in and out of the dungeons they're randomly generated.
Ooh.
So similar effect obviously is going to be happening with this.
It's possible. It's also possible that the scenario could determine which
like how many
go
ones
pull tile number 3 and this will be
Yeah.
tile number 3. I'm guessing this is like tile number 3.
Yeah.
You can go
Pull
use that
tile
room.
like 7, 9, and 3,
or
and,
maybe
like,
you
yeah.
pull randomly. Maybe you make a deck of these
Tiles,
rooms
yeah.
and then you pull randomly. Who knows? Like I said, we'll learn more about that when we learn to play.
Yeah,
But
we will be doing
order.
a playthrough, so keep an eye out for that. We're gonna wrangle in Zach, and specifically have him die over and over and over again.
You are the sacrifice.
You're the sacrifice, Zach.
All right.
And then you have your cards. As I was trying to open them. So in this set, obviously, I don't want to go through everything, not to take up too much time. But you have your your boss cards, and your set here,
Maybe player mats too.
and player
There's
mats.
definitely a pad right here. Is this
There are-
pad maybe
there
for
are-
the town?
There are, because as you go, if you play Darkest Dungeon, you do level up the town thing. You unlock things.
It's like a big deal about the game.
Yeah, you unlock
For those
things.
of you, so we've gone through this entire video. We haven't explained Darkest Dungeon. So Darkest Dungeon is, I'll let you
They don't
explain it
need to
because you
know.
played it.
They don't need
They
to
don't need to know.
So Darkest Dungeon is a roguelike game. Basically, your characters are sent a mysterious letter from your relative, right? Yeah, and they say, "Hey, come here. We have some stuff happening." And you go to this town, and it's kind of a shady town. It's very inspired by the stories of like Lovecraft, Cthulhu, and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of that, like outer-worldly lore, that's what this happened. Most of that happens here. Basically, as you progress through the game, you will hire your characters, will delve into this dungeon, right? Underneath the manor, kill monsters, acquire loot, and then leave. There are bosses to be found as you progress. There is a story that you can play through. Now, the premise of the game is as you play, your characters will get stronger. Additionally, they will die badly.
And dying is permanent.
Dying is permanent. So when your character dies, you lose that character. But you don't lose the option of keep playing that character class, right? So that's why you're playing the Musketeer and not like Lady Gavalt. Like you're playing a character class. You have teams of 4.
So you can acquire another musketeer. But
Yes.
they're not going to be the same musketeer. They're going to be someone else who just happens to fire a gun.
Yes. Now your characters all have pros and cons. So they can acquire negatives as they take damage. And then the reason why you have the town build up is that's how you get rid of those negatives. So you might have a character who's a gambler, and that's a negative effect on your character. You can go to like the mission and have your character purge themselves for a number of rounds that they have to be away. But also you lose that character while they're purging the negative off of them.
Or also going into the dungeon, there's also dangers, and you can receive negatives from taking damage and
Yes.
from other effects that happen in the dungeon.
Stress is a big thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole feature called stress, where your character acquires stress and then can take negatives. There are positive rolls. I'm interested to see how you build characters in this, because those negatives and positives are huge. So this is the town. When you get to the Darkest Dungeon area, this is the town. That's what it looks like. You have all your different locations. Obviously, here you have your abbey, your graveyard, your sanatorium, the tavern, and the wagon, and the blacksmith, right? And the stagecoach. So the nomad wagon is like these are all items, and you could purchase things there. The blacksmith's items, the sanatoriums to get rid of those negatives. The abbey again is to get rid of those negatives. The tavern is again. Sometimes you have characters who like to go drink, and it's a positive for them. So they go to the tavern, and it can like your stress actually continues. Like so, if you have to relieve stress. So sometimes you could send them to the sanatorium to relieve stress, or they could go to the tavern and drink their woes away, and it will relieve stress.
So interesting point is that there is this pad that's got a whole bunch of paper in it.
Paper.
Paper. And it has hero name and level for 4 heroes. They have wounds, stress, and XP. They have a list of diseases that they may acquire, trinkets that they have, quirks that they have, and as they level up as level 2 and level 3, they'll have skills that they get to acquire. Yeah. So, and this also shows you your campaign level and also any other important information that's going to happen. So you're going to be able to track this. So this is more of a campaign, like a game to game to game. You're going to improve the board as a whole.
Yeah.
And this will hopefully help you track what has changed about your game, and so you can kind of pack it up and run it next time with those same characters if they survive.
Yes. Again,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, quirks are your positives, diseases are your negatives.
Yeah.
We have
trinkets.
The bounty hunter. If you've ever played the bounty hunter, so just FYI, if you've ever watched any of our live plays of D&D, Pathfinder, or any indie other tabletop role-playing games, I base a lot of my characters off of Darkest Dungeon characters. I just steal their backgrounds and then run them. So that's how I build my characters, because they actually have really interesting characters. Oh, the Abomination. Oh, the Abomination's so cool. If you like werewolves, the Abomination is your werewolf. They call him Abomination. There's a lot of lore, by the way, in this about every character the world itself. There's like I can't tell you how deep this game goes. It goes crazy deep. There's like a whole cult following, ironically, about the game about cults and Cthulhu-esque monsters. So I think that's amusing as we make.
Here are the bosses. Whoa. You know, these are. We're just going to look at the one in the back because I think it's cool. The artwork is very much. If you play Darkest Dungeon, this is the exact same artwork. Obviously, it doesn't move around. You have to move around yourself. You have to dance. But yeah, so this is the Bone Captain, and it's going to have stats on there. And I'm going to try to move this little band out of the way without making a mess. Obviously, it's got all its stats when you're fighting it, and it's just got the cool artwork, and it's got a bunch of different monsters in here. Let's see, there's Bone Captain,
different bosses,
the Heart of Darkness,
that's the
Pyre, the Prophet, the Brigadin Bloodletter. Oh,
yeah, and these are your hero classes. Your Abomination is a hero class.
Oh, those are heroes.
These are the heroes.
Oh,
this is the
Abomination was a...
No, that's a hero.
Oh,
this is
cool.
The Grave Robber. She's a hero. The Occultist is a hero and a healer, by the way. The Plague Doctor is a healer. And the where is
it's like a tank character?
Yeah, does the Hellion is the Barbarian. She's cool. Gotcha. She's actually really cool. And the Crusader. So this is clearly a dungeon map of when you go into the dungeon. So yeah. There's multiple different. Each one is a different. Oh,
dungeon. That's cool. Because that's how the map works.
That's the random generator. So that's your random generator because it doesn't tell you what level you're on. It just says this is how it should look. That
might be determined by how you build a monster deck.
Probably.
Not necessarily what dungeon you pull.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how you do it.
Oh, and this is some sort of tuck box. Oh, this is a save. Okay, this is cool. So this kind of confirms my suspicions. This is a more of like a campaign/legacy game. This is your save box. So you're going to put this box together, and this is going to where you're going to put all the stuff that you've acquired for your characters. You're going to take your characters. You're
that's
take
cool.
Whatever things you've unlocked for your town. You're going to pop this box together, and this is how you know this is what we've acquired for our personal. Oh, we unlocked the blacksmith to level 3. You're going to put the level. I'm assuming you're going to put the level 3 blacksmith card, little shit stuff in there, and all your characters and all this stuff you've unlocked, and you're going to put in there so you know you can, from gameplay.
Oh, that's cool because then you could kind of bring it to like a friend's house, and then you could be like, hey, dude, check this out. Let's get like 2 more people. Let's run this through. Again, you don't need a game master to run this. This is it.
The game
runs itself. If you've played Gloomhaven or Dark Souls, the board game,
or any of the D&D board games that came out.
Yeah, many of the D&D board games, they would just run themselves. Start here before you play the full game.
Start here before you touch anything. We've already touched stuff.
We've ruined it.
Stress.
This is clearly the game. They show you the main characters, the tutorials, how to play. You know, this is the quick. I'm not gonna say the quick start, but more like the kind of learn quick start guide.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the rule book.
Rules, yes.
We found it.
We found it, yes. We're only knee deep into the first box and we found the rule book. But obviously, it gives you, you know, images of all the stuff. That's just like almost every board game should do this. If you're a board game developer and you don't do this, do this.
You failed yourself.
Yeah, so just so I shows you what's in the box. And so, you know, because we want to know if you have everything, this is what you do.
Yeah. And then but the next page, if he flips to it, I'll show you. This is clearly... all the enemies are in that secondary box.
Yeah,
that's the token box,
and most of the heroes are as well. The only one that wasn't was the Musketeer, which was in that special
secondary box.
Yeah. Obviously rules, and I just quickly thumbed through a section, and this is what I like in board games. They kind of show you examples.
Yeah,
this is what I like. Look, text is great, and sometimes you have to tell us in text what to do. But examples of gameplay is always going to be helpful.
Layout,
how it expects you to lay everything out. You know, like little examples of how you kind of set stuff up. This is all good stuff. And like I said, every rulebook's going to have editing problems. There's no
Steve
avoiding.
Will find it.
Yeah, I probably found the one typo.
So thank you very much for checking out this video on Darkest Dungeon. I'm not opening up the second box because clearly it's just miniatures. But stick around at the end. Steve's going to edit in a whole showcase of miniatures so that you can check them out as like a little end credit thing. With that being said, we are Nothing Ventured, Nothing Gained. I want to say thank you very much to Steve for being here tonight and checking out Darkest Dungeon. Stick around to the channel, and we will be doing a playthrough and a review of the full game in its entirety coming up very soon. Thank you very much to everyone, and again, feed the machine. Feed the machine.
Machine.
Have a good evening.
Later.